Hi, I'm Irina Baker, and today I'm going to talk about an interesting pain that is usually inside in many people. I usually work with women, so I can tell you that many women have this pain inside, and this pain is the pain of separation, pain of feeling disconnected, feeling separated, feeling not whole, and feeling of not enough. And so I'm going to address this pain and I will show you the steps, what you need to do to identify this pain inside of you. And also I will reveal what this pain is all about. So if you are very honest with yourself and you're willing to look inside right now, because a lot of women don't, but if you decide as you're watching this video to really be honest with yourself, and if you look inside, are you aware that that pain is there? Maybe so it can be felt as very subtle in the background pain. It could be in the middle somewhere, and then it could be very severe, profound. So if it were profound pain, you right now, you would say, yes, I have this pain and I'm actively searching for a solution. But if it's in the background, of course, you got used to living with it. You might not even notice it on a regular basis because that pain is actually the secret is this pain travels with us through past lives and through this lifetime. So it's not like you got this at some point, like some virus. Actually, it's been with you for so long that you got used to it, and maybe perhaps you have suppressed it and you're not even aware of it. So that's why it's so important to address it, because this pain will not go anywhere throughout your existence, not just this lifetime, but many incarnations, if you do not address it and you don't change it, you don't release it and then replace it with the good thing, the good feeling. And the first thing I want to address is how people cover up this pain, how they suppress it, how they try not to feel it, because obviously they don't know what to do with it. So let's just cover it up. The first way is the person gets into the job with full force, or the business. So there is the urge inside to achieve, to do something, to constantly do, and overrun, as I usually say. Why? Because I want something to change. And I believe that when I achieve that big success, material success, the pain inside will be gone, and I just need to fulfill my mission, because my mission will make me happy. I've heard people will say, when I make this bunch of money, tons of money, I will be happy. Well, not so much. But that's what they believe, and that's what they're trying to accomplish. This is just simple cover up of the pain of separation inside. The second one is about using five senses. Five senses are the part of our human part, the human body, and the human is only concerned about three things. One is to survive, the second one is to avoid pain, and to seek pleasure. And so to avoid pain means I have this pain inside, I don't know what to do with it, so I will be avoiding it. And instead, I will do a lot of things with my five senses to please my five senses, to seek entertainment, to seek comfort, so I can cover up that pain, because I'm trying to avoid pain, because to avoid pain means to survive simply. Of course, you're not thinking it consciously, but it's all on subconscious level. You do it automatically. So if you love to overeat, to have a lot of food, or to have delicious food, or to anything about food, drinks, alcohol, sex, too much work, all of that, all the addictions that we have, people have, They are to cover the pain. Why alcoholics? It's so hard to stop being an alcoholic. Well, because wine numbs the pain. These people are so sensitive to that pain that all they came up with as a cover up was to drink alcohol because it numbs the pain. It gives them momentary relief. And so, of course, you will be addicted to alcohol if you want to cover up. Can we blame anybody? Not at all. This is the self-defense mechanism, but it's self-destructive. So that's why I'm here raising awareness. And the third one is the big one, the relationships, because if you feel feeling of disconnection, separation, and of course, loneliness is associated with this feeling. In fact, it's profound loneliness. Well, people will say, or people believe that it's because of no relationship or not good relationship. So they're searching either for relationship at all or for a better relationship because they think, okay, well, I got my relationship, but it's not really ideal. So I need to find better relationships so it will be ideal, and my pain of loneliness, separation, and the disconnection will go away. Well, it won't. So again, this is just a cover up because these three things, the work related, the business related part, urge to accomplish stuff, the five physical senses engagement, and the relationships, it's all outside. It's outside of us, of our internal world. So they cannot replace, or they can cover it up, they can numb your pain, but they cannot address it, and they cannot remove it. So the pain remains and it continues giving you a feeling of discomfort, profound loneliness, and it's just the pain, and the pain is real, and the pain is hard to continue carrying because, and I know for sure some women are tired of it. And if you're tired and you're watching this video, I'm so glad you're doing it. The people search for answers. For example, I am sure you're searching for answers in some way, or for some way, because a lot of people are searching for answers. Unless you just sit at home, eat pizza, as I always say, on the couch and do nothing, well, you're searching for answers. Every time I talk to women who came to me as clients, they would say, I was searching for answers and I found you as my answer. So, but a lot of times, in fact, in many cases, majority of cases, people are searching for something, but it's actually a very different thing that they need to search for, but they don't know it. It's not, they're not aware of it. I myself was searching long time ago for answers to a problem that I thought was the main problem of my life, but it turned out I was searching for entirely different thing. Lucky me, I found my answers, and now I'm helping you find your answers as well. And so people search for answers. Like I would like to demonstrate my point via my favorite movie, Matrix. Neo was searching for an answer. He was searching for Morpheus. As you remember, the beginning of the movie, Neo is half asleep in front of his computer, and the computer is constantly 24/7, obviously searching for Morpheus. So he was searching for answers in his own way because he didn't know any better. When Trinity shows up on the scene and she invites him to follow the White Rabbit, he goes to the bar or whatever that place was, and there Trinity reveals the answer and she reveals that it wasn't Morpheus that Neo was searching for. It was actually the question that Neo had subconsciously. Neo was not even aware of it until that moment when he spoke to Trinity, or rather, Trinity was speaking to him. And the question was, what is Matrix? And that was a shift in consciousness, Neo's shift in consciousness, because he thought he was searching for Morpheus, but it turned out he was searching to understand the Matrix. And the same here. People are searching for other things. Usually it's in the material world, but actually they're searching for spiritual answers. When you ask, you shall receive. Okay, and the next thing I will share with you three steps that you absolutely need to take in order to proceed with this problem if you have it. Most likely you do. And start getting your answers, your questions answered. So the first one is identify this pain. Do you feel it? Do you have it? Are you aware of it? Do you ever feel it periodically? Maybe you don't feel it every day. You don't think about every day, but do you feel maybe once in a while? Did you feel it in the past? So think, search your memories, search your feelings, feel the feelings, and identify, do you really have it? Because if you do not accept it, if you do not admit it, if you still continue covering it up, saying, oh, no, no, I'm fine. Well, I do have clients like that. They come to me and they're very, very fine. Everything is fine. And yet they came to me. So then we find out that they're not so fine at all, because we start taking off masks and identify the problems. And the second step is identify how strong is the feeling. Is it somewhere little, tiny burning in the background that is very subtle? Is it somewhere in between that you periodically really feel it? Or it's very strong, it's urgent, it's burning, and you have a burning desire to find a solution to it? It could be very profound loneliness feeling and feeling of disconnection. I have those examples in the past myself, when I did feel very profound loneliness, even in the middle of the big crowd. And I remember that moment from a long time ago. And so the next step is, how would you call it? Would you call it just the pain? Would you call it a feeling? Some people call it a void. I've been working with many clients who basically everybody who comes to me, they do have this issue, this pain of separation. And so we could call it a void. Some women call it a void. Some women call it emptiness, because it just feels like empty inside. It might not feel as pain, but emptiness. It could be a feeling of dissatisfaction. You might feel that everything in your life is going fine, but you're still not satisfied with anything. Why? Because again, that pain of separation is very different from everything in your material world, in your outside actions. So, of course, that feeling of dissatisfaction is like an alarm, like a bell ringing, saying, hey, pay attention to me. I'm here and I need to be addressed. And then some people have severe problem. Then they call it, I had a client who identified it as a black hole. She said a pitch black hole. And it was full of anger, and it was full of pain. So she was not even aware of it before, but then when we dug inside, that's how she identified it later on. And it could be just a hole without any colors associated with it. It might not be black, but it could be a hole. It could be also a blob, just blob, black blob, some kind of uh, blob that is inside, and you're aware of it. And finally, it could be just an urge, the urge to search for the answers, the search to find the solution to who knows what, the urge to achieve more, to do more, the surge of doing more. So all of that could be as just again the alarm that pain is there and pain wants to be addressed. And now, since you've been so patient watching all this, I would like to reveal what it is about if you haven't guessed it already. So, this is the pain of separation from divine. This is a pain of being disconnected from God and feeling not enough, feeling not whole because I'm not connected with God. Therefore, something is wrong with me and I am very lonely because I have no God on my side. So this pain is an internal pain, and it cannot be addressed by outside actions, no matter how honest you are in your intention. It doesn't matter, because the pain is on the inside. It has to be addressed by internal methods. I would like to demonstrate my point with example, a case study from my actual client, who is a very accomplished woman. She is a millionaire. She manages a multi-million dollar business. She is very well, obviously, established in the material world. And at the same time, she's been on a spiritual path since she was 7 years old. She started with big names in self-help and spiritual industry. She started with religion, then she proceeded to metaphysical field, spiritual. So she had it all in her life, and she is in a more mature age. So she has accomplished a lot, and she's been on a spiritual path, actively seeking answers, and she's been doing everything possible to be spiritually developed. And this is in her own words, so I'm going to read from this paper. So she told me, I thought I knew myself. I could meditate for hours, but I was never satisfied long enough asking myself, was there something wrong with me? I kept searching. Every new spiritual class I took, I hope it would reveal the answer. I would feel whole. Going to church, singing in a choir, listening to lectures didn't help me connect to God. The classes were spiritual, but they gave me only intellectual knowledge. No matter what I would do, I didn't feel connected, didn't feel whole, and I felt never enough. And now I understand a connection to God is not an outside job, it's an inside job. So now, from after we worked together for actually a long period of time, she now knows who she is. She feels whole and connected to the divine in a very personal, intimate, and deep way. She said, I know who I am now. I'm not worried that I'm not good enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, and too old. I am calm, satisfied, and deeply connected. So that's why I wanted to demonstrate it with the case study, because you have to go within, address the pain, find the pain, identify the pain, address the pain, and release the pain and replace it with deep connection, which is all very, very possible. And your search for answers will be over, literally, because you will find what it is you actually came here to do in this lifetime. Because when you connected with the divine, things just change, life changes. One more thing I wanted to explain here is about 4 stages that I've identified personally during my personal spiritual path and by working with clients. So the first stage is, many people in America are not even need to be concerned about it, but I will say it because I came from the Soviet Union, where that problem was very strong. So the first stage is when you don't know anything about God, you don't want to know anything about God, and you're not interested. My upbringing was, I had know about God because it was prohibited. God was renounced. Religion was opium for the people, as they said, and that was it. So by being born in the Soviet Union, by being raised there, I did not know anything about God. Not that I was an atheist, I just didn't know. That I was not given a choice at all because I was not aware. So that's the first stage, when a person either renounces God at all, doesn't be by not believing in God, or doesn't know about God. I'm just sharing it so you know there is a stage like that. Some people are like that. And the second stage is when I came to America, I've learned about God. I started believing, and can you believe it? I'm teaching right now everything about divine. And so I started my very, very strong search for God and knowing what divine is all about. And so that was gaining, first of all, curiosity. And that was a very strong search in me to find. But that's usually in America, at least I know we live here, people go to church and they consider themselves religious people, and everything is great with that because you know God, but it's still intellectual knowledge. And on this stage, people usually follow the dogma, people follow what they are told, and it's actually a lot of religious people don't believe in past lives because they're not taught in the Bible. They don't believe maybe that we're all not alone at all in the universe, and all kinds of spiritual truths that come with awakening of the population. A lot of times religious people stay away from. So that's the second stage. The third stage, and that's what I've experienced within my clinical practice. When I was a mental health counselor, I would get clients who would tell me, I just left the church and I'm searching for answers in the metaphysical fields, or I believe I am spiritual. So they would be already open to metaphysical principles and metaphysical knowledge, and they would be uh, reconciling themselves by leaving the church and going into free field, so to speak, metaphysical field, and they would start believing in past lives. They would learn all kinds of new things. So that was the third stage. But from my observation, from my experience, from my being there as well, I know that it's also a very mental approach. So when we gain so much mental knowledge, we feel that, oh, I know everything, but it's only on this level, it's only mental. And that's why mindset is so important to many people, because it's mental. But the next stage comes, the fourth stage, when you develop really relationship with the divine on a deep feeling level. So mental knowledge is great, intellectual knowledge is great about God, because we do need this knowledge, but the pain is still there, pain of separation. No matter how intellectually you're searching for answers, you will not address the pain, because the pain is feeling. And when you get to that next stage, that means you have um, released the pain of separation, you connected with the divine, and now you feel the divine. And so it's a very amazing feeling, it's amazing way to live life, and we all should aspire to that level. And that's where I take my clients to that level, because that's the level that we need in order to live our lives to be much better and to fulfill our spiritual purpose here on earth. And so if you want to address your pain of separation, disconnection, feeling not whole, feeling not enough, I invite you to, and strongly encourage you to come to my 3-day live event. It's called Divine Wealth, the inner journey home to freedom and power. When you connect with divine, when you heal yourself from inside, you do achieve freedom and you do achieve power, but it will be very different. It's a spiritual, these are spiritual aspects of your life that are completely amazing. So come to my event and learn all about it, and your search for answers could be over, literally. So go to irinabaker.com/wealth and register. And I will see you in my classroom.